Hello, everyone. My name is Amit Batra, and I have been living in Dublin, Ireland for last 3.5 years. So, by profession, I work in IT sector, and here in Dublin, I live with my wife and 2.5-year-old daughter. So, in this video, I'll share our journey about how we went on to buy a two-bedroom apartment in Dublin City Center, and I will also explain what process is involved in buying an apartment in Dublin. This information is primarily for the first-time buyers in Ireland. I, along with my wife, we moved to Dublin in December 2019. We started renting a one-bedroom apartment in Bachelor's Walk in Dublin 1, and we were paying about 1,600 euros per month for that apartment. So after a year, we decided to move to a two-bedroom apartment in Townsend Street, which is close to the Trinity College, and we were paying around 2,000 euros per month for that apartment. So one fine day, I and my wife were having a chat that we are spending quite a lot of money on rent. Rather, we should think about buying an apartment so that we can at least save this money, which we are spending on paying the rent. So, and we did not know what our long-term plan are at that stage, whether we want to stay in Ireland for long term, or do we want to move back to India, or we want to move to another country, right? So this was very unclear for us at that stage. Hence, we decided that we'll go for an apartment and we'll find the apartment in city center itself so that we can take advantage of various facilities of city center, like having most of the amenities at your doorstep. And then we don't necessarily need a car as well. Right? So now let's go through the buying process and our journey, right? So if you want to go with a mortgage, right, the first step is to apply for a approval in principle letter. Approval in principle, it is an indication from a lender of how much they will be prepared to lend to you based on the information you provide to them. Right? So you can apply for approval in principle letter online with your choice of bank, or you can call, email the bank to get this letter. Right? This letter is generally valid for 6 months. And once you have this letter, you can set your budget accordingly as per the amount which can be lended to you. Right? So we applied for approval in principle letter online with AIB Bank, and then they made it available for us. So now you should start searching the apartments on daft.ie. Daft is a major website or portal in Ireland to help find out properties for rent and sale. So we started searching for apartments on daft.ie. We got the viewings arranged for, I think, 5 apartments. However, we did not like them due to size or other issues. Then finally, we viewed a two-bedroom apartment in IFSC area, which we really liked. It was quite spacious and location was perfect as well for us. So we sent the confirmation to the property agent that we want to go ahead and buy this apartment. But there were also other bidders on the property. So at the end, we were able to secure this apartment at the price of 342,000 euros, and it was sale agreed. By the way, in Ireland, there's a system of bidding on the property prices. So generally, owners or the agents, they set a base price of the apartment on daft.ie, and then people who show the interest in the property, they can bid for the property and can compete with others. So our property had only 3 bidders, and then we got to secure the apartment because we were the highest bidder on that property. So once we sent the confirmation to the agent, we were asked to pay a 4,500 euros as a securing amount, or you can call it as a token amount, right? So we paid 4,500 euros to the property agent as a token money. Now, once you confirm that you want to take this property, you also need to send that approval in principle letter, which you got from the bank, to your property agent, so that property agent has the confirmation that you have enough funds to buy this apartment. Right? So we provided our approval in principle letter from AIB to the property agent. So at this stage, now you need to find out a solicitor who would represent you in the buying process of that apartment, like handling all the legal aspects and paperwork. Yeah? So once you agree with the solicitor to go ahead, then solicitor would ask for your documents such as passport copies, your current address proof, your bank savings proof, marriage certificate if you're married, etc. So we found a solicitor with the help of one of my friends. We spoke to the solicitor, we agreed on the fees, etc. Generally, solicitor charges are somewhat between 2,000 and 3,000 euros for the whole process. But again, it can vary depending on the property, location, and the type of property. Right? So our solicitor also sent us a questionnaire, which we filled and submitted back to him. And once it was confirmed that he's going to represent us, he prepared a letter of engagement and emailed that letter to us along with a money laundering PDF, which is a standard process. Now, you need to provide the solicitor details to your property agent. So once you provide those details to the property agent, a sales advice notice is issued to your solicitor by the solicitor of the apartment owners. We provided our solicitor details to the agent. Then subsequently, a sales advice notice was issued to our solicitor by the apartment owner's solicitor. So now here, you also need to start your mortgage approval process and start talking to the bank. Most of the banks make this whole process available online so that you don't have to be physically present in the bank. We started our mortgage process with AIB, and then we started submitting documents on the online portal. And there's a long list of documents that we submitted, though it may vary depending on the banks which you choose. At a high level, the documents which we submitted online were basically, number one was the credit reports for both of us from India and any other countries wherever we have stayed. A salary certificate from our current employer for both of us. Last 6 months bank statement for all the banks which we have the account in. And for both of us, myself and my wife's Indian PAN card, myself and my wife's Ireland PPS card, employment summary from revenue for both of us, the sales advice notice which we received, that one, a booking deposit receipt, so a receipt from your property agent as a proof that you paid the booking deposit or the token money. And there were a couple others like life insurance proof and also apartment block policies, which I'll cover later in this video. So while mortgage approval is in process, at this stage, you need to arrange a structural survey for the apartment yourself. So you need to hire a third-party contractor to get the structural survey done. You need to align the property agent's availability and then contractor's availability together, and then contractor will attend and access the property. So after the survey is done, contractor provides the detailed survey report mentioning all the things such as apartment overall condition, windows, bathrooms, walls, tiles, kitchen, extractor fans, and all the key facilities. The survey report, it provides the rating of all the items, and this rating is mentioned such as poor, needs repair, or a good condition. Also, please note that you need to pay a fee to the contractor to get this survey done, and it costs around 150 to 200 euros depending on who the contractor is. If you're not happy with the survey report, you can always cancel your apartment booking and ask for the refund of the token amount. And if there are things which need to be repaired, you can agree with property agent on whether they can get those repairs done or not, and accordingly make an informed decision. So we got the structural survey done from a third-party contractor, and our report mostly was good, apart from a couple of things which needed to be repaired. We agreed that we'll repair them ourselves. So now, at this stage, you have survey report, you have the mortgage process running, and you have a sale agreed apartment. So what's the next step? So next step is now to get a contract ready to be signed by both parties. And this contract is generally prepared by apartment owner's solicitor and is sent to your solicitor. And once you receive the contract from your solicitor for signing, please review it carefully, all the details in that contract, because it's a binding document between both parties. By this time, I also expect that your mortgage is fully approved by the bank. But in case it is not approved, then you can hold back signing the contract until the mortgage is fully approved. You can communicate this to your solicitor. Once the mortgage is fully approved, then you can go ahead and sign the contract. We received the contract from our solicitor. However, our mortgage was not fully approved by that time. So we communicated to our solicitor that we will not be signing will not be signing the contract until mortgage is fully approved. So while signing the contract, you would need to pay the 10% amount of the property to your solicitor minus the token amount which you already paid. And please note that you cannot make the transactions directly into apartment owner's bank account or their solicitor's bank account due to anti-money laundering regulations. So all the transactions which you have to make, it has to go into your solicitor's bank account. So while we were waiting for sort of mortgage approval, at that time, our solicitor also received some information about annual charges from the apartment's management company. Apartment blocks are generally maintained and managed by apartment management companies here. So solicitor also sent us multiple documents for our use. So there was letter of advice from solicitor which contained information about solicitor fees and various different terms and conditions. He also sent us the contract, as I said earlier. He sent us the BER certificate and advisory report, which contained the building energy rating and all other details associated with apartments such as heating, ventilation, windows, flooring, chimneys, etc. He also sent us a copy of a land registry folio, which shows that the property is registered under the land registry folio in Ireland. He also sent us a lease between apartment buyers and the management company, which actually sets some terms and conditions to stay in that apartment block. He also sent us the local property tax information, which tells you like how much local property tax you need to be paying for your apartment every year. And he also sent us the information about legal charges, all the legal charges which are associated with buying an apartment. In the mortgage application with your bank, you also need to provide your solicitor details in there as well. So once our mortgage was approved, a loan approval pack was sent to us physically as well as to our solicitor as well. So along with that loan pack, bank also sends you what are the next steps. So they sent us the next step that we need to buy a mortgage protection cover or a life insurance. So we purchased the life insurance from Irish Life, and we are currently paying about 32 euros per month towards this life insurance cover. It is important to take this cover because in any unforeseen circumstances, if one of you dies, then with this protection cover, all remaining mortgage amount by that time will be paid by Irish Life to the AIB. Right? Another next step was to arrange a valuation survey. So you need to arrange a valuation survey which is done by the bank itself. In this, bank sends a representative from their team to the apartment to perform a valuation survey of the apartment. And this is performed to ensure that the apartment which you're buying does have the value for which you're buying it. Right? So we had one representative from AIB who attended the property and did the valuation survey of our property. Another next step is home insurance. So for home insurance, apartments are covered by the building block policy. So you don't need to buy a separate home insurance for your apartment. Your management company provides you a building block policy, which has all the insurance information about the building. And they also sent us a direct debit mandate form, which was needed to be filled by ourselves to allow the bank to debit the repayment installment from the bank account of one of us. So valuation survey report, it goes to the bank by themselves because that's how they communicate. However, direct debit mandate and proof of home insurance, you need to send to bank's mortgage department yourself. So now at this stage, we signed the contract and paid the 10% of the total amount value, and minus the token amount to our solicitor. And once the contract is signed, then key handover date is decided, which is generally 2 to 3 weeks after the signed contracts have been exchanged. And before this key handover date or closing date, solicitor asks for the remaining money, which is due for the payment, such as stamp duty, cost of the solicitor, land registry fee, local property tax due, if any, and any dues from the annual management company charges. Stamp duty is generally 1% of the total apartment cost. So we paid all this total amount to our solicitor just before the closing date. So on or before the closing date, bank draws down all the remaining 90% of your property amount into the solicitor's bank account, into your solicitor's bank account. And then your solicitor transfer that amount to the apartment owner's solicitor, and apartment owner solicitor then transfer that money into the actual apartment owner's bank account. So on the day of closing, or on your convenient day around the closing, you would meet the property agent to receive the apartment keys, and then apartment is yours. So happy days, right? I also wanted to let you know that after the purchase is complete, our solicitor also requested new apartment owners, that means us, to be now registered under land registry portfolio. And he sent us the copy of that request. He sent us the stamp duty certificate, which he already paid. He also sent us a breakdown of the solicitor costs and all the payment information in a nice PDF document, which has been spent towards this property purchase. So after the purchase is done, bank also asks for a signed membership certificate from your solicitor, right? So this signed membership certificate is signed by the apartment management company and sent to your solicitor, and then your solicitor then sends this certificate to the bank. So finally, a couple of months after the sale was closed and new apartment owners were registered in the land registry folio, then our solicitor sent us a closing pack with all the documents which we need to keep with ourselves. So this is how our apartment buying process and journey looked like. I've tried to explain in a detailed manner, also in a concise manner as well. So hope this information is useful. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave in the comment section. And thank you very much for listening.